Welcome back to my channel, Gaming Etc. I'm your host, Etc. Dude. And today we are continuing our run of
Little Goody Two Shoes.
Last time we ended up having to save Apfel from the Witch's Woods, or I think it's called like Crow something, during the witching hour. And with that part of our day done, we were also able to make the tender flesh into an edible item, that being bread. So we have one gift fully completed for our visit with him. So that just means that we have to have the other one, which is the, I want to say it's supposed to be the drink. So we need the drink. We still need the good company, which we have a vague idea on what the good company is, but we haven't really come to terms with what that is. So that said, let's go ahead and get started. So here we are at a new day. Now we are on Thursday. And as for our bribe for Muffy, we need some Hearty soup. So if you don't already have some in hand, make sure you pick some up at the shop before you continue on with your day. Alright, let's get started with our day here. His gift does suit you rather well, lass. Those shoes, they'll guide you to him.
What in the Lord's name?
Who are you? You know who I am, Elise. You're with him, just like that crow. Quite smart, aren't you?
You know,
This is another of his trials, I take it. Why, yes. You're truly so delightful, lass. Fortune. That's what you're after, isn't it? You've come to taunt me, I'm assuming. I've come to welcome you into my very own garden, Elise. You alone, lass. I won't let that wretched thing into my grove, unlike Miriam. That fool. The testament you seek rests deep within my depths, Elise. Am I to meet you there, then? My, how willful you are.
out with it!
You're trying my patience. That's what. We both know what I'm after, Serpent. So get it over with and... You're now the bearer of my hex, lassie. Paid to meet me in my realm. Show me your resolve, your burning desire for more. Be good, behave, Elise, and I'll welcome you with open arms. You sickening wretch. I'll be awaiting you by the gates of my bedewed forest of berries, Elise. To hell with you. Ugh, this stings. It's best I don't alarm Rosemarine. I have to prepare myself for tonight. I must see this through. Yeah, that was weird. But nothing else we can do but continue on into town. here's everybody. We've got to clear out the blockage, folks. It's the only way. If you say so, lad.
You know,
What's wrong with the fountain? It's one thing after another, isn't it, Elise? You think the fountain's obstructed, is all. This is all her doing, the witch. She's taken our grain, our children, and now she's after our water. We've discussed this, old lad. Finn and I can give it a look, can't we, Finn? To the best of our ability, but old Wilhelm ought to know what's wrong with it. We're together here at noon, folks. I want to have a word with all of Kieferberg. You'll need me to lend you a hand, Father. Naturally, Gustav. What are we to do about the grain, folks? The grain. You haven't heard, lass? No. I'm yet to fully understand what's going on. Someone was in the windmill last night, at least. Could have been the wind or the crows. Still, the door was still locked this morning, lad. It was Eugene's responsibility, but it was the witch, I tell you. Give it a rest, old Jojen. I was told you left home early last night, Elise. She was certainly tired, old Jojen. Don't be unreasonable. It couldn't have been one of us folks. What about the Weevils?
What?
Weevils? Mr. Ludwig. The flour and grain we had stored away are riddled with beetles, Elise. I'm not certain what we're to do with this grain now. All we can to avoid throwing it out, Ludwig. We'll become completely reliant on Primaldorf at this rate. That witch has us at her mercy. She has all of Kieferberg in the palm of her hand, and that's enough, folks. I've heard enough. Finn and Heinrich will take a look at the fountain later. As for the rest of us, we gotta air out the grain and do away with these beetles, starting right now. It's only riling folks up even more. I'd best go see if Lebkuchen's alright. Folks must be swarming her. And here's Leb. Please try to calm down, Mrs. Linda. Oh, I know. Won't you have a look at my rosary, Lebkuchen? I seem to have pulled on it a little too tightly this morning. That's not good, Ariane. No good at all. I'll tighten it for you, Miss Ariane. But first, I ought to.
Lebkuchen.
I can help, Lebkuchen.
Elise.
Elise. What are you saying, lassie? A maid of all work can't possibly pray our blessings. We need Lebkuchen. Oh, where's Father Hans? When we need him most. Father Hans has his own matters to attend to. I can... It's best you visit each and every one of our homes, Lebkuchen.
I wonder.
That's my end too. I'll need a prayer in each and every room before sunset. Ah, but before then, Lebkuchen, could you?
Out with it!
We've folks back off a little. My Elise. Can you see where? Lebkuchen. Oh, who's going to pray our blessings now? We must fetch Father Hans. Someone get her some water.
Lebkuchen!
Can you hear me? We'll be taking her home, Elise. She'll be fine. All right, Mrs. Dorothea. Why don't you pay her a visit in a little while? Of course. I'll be there. I have to go see her. She didn't deserve any of this. Oh, well, I gotta recover. Alright, let's go meet Leb. And here she is. And this is just for another date. And that's because there's really nothing else to do. I mean, you could always do a task, but this is the way I did it, and this is the way I wanted the video.
Lebkuchen.
Don't you start, Elise.
For goodness sake.
What were you thinking? You couldn't. Doesn't matter, Elise. I'll be out and about after lunch anyhow. Granny Gretel's preparing it for me, so you can...
For goodness sake!
I'm not going anywhere, Lebkuchen. And neither are you. Not until I've given you a proper earful.
I see.
I'm jumping for joy. You're impossible to put up with when you get like this.
Oh, Elise.
How would you like me to be feeling? So we have, you're trying my patience, or angry, of course, and it's angry, of course.
This is ridiculous!
You're being taken for granted, like you always are. Tell me something I don't know. That includes you, Lebkuchen. I'm sorry, Leb. I didn't come here to yell at you, but I still don't understand. Why are you breaking your backs for these folks? It's my duty, at least.
For goodness sake.
You're well aware I don't appreciate being lied to, Lebkuchen.
I see.
Neither do I. Yet that's what you've been doing all week.
I'm tired.
I don't know how to let go, Elise. That's all. Let go of what? Of who I am here in Kieferberg. Of this duty and purpose. I'm well aware I'm being taken for granted. And I take myself for granted too. Trying my own patience.
Lebkuchen.
What do you mean, trying your own patience? I'm not certain I have any faith left in me, Elise.
You know,
You mean? I'm a hypocrite, Elise. Praying for folks when I no longer. You're far from a hypocrite, Lebkuchen. You're kind, you're dedicated, you're a rock for these folks.
Elise.
Whether that's true or not, Elise, I feel trapped. the same way you do, only with other obligations
I see.
and in other ways as well. I'm torn between my duty and my feelings.
Lebkuchen.
What do you mean? What kind of feelings? It doesn't matter, Elise. It's not as though you...
Oh, shush it!
Oh, to hell with you, Lebkuchen.
Out with it!
I've had it with this nonsense. Be it your feelings, or your lack of faith, or what have you. You're done working yourself to the ground, and that's
I
fine.
wonder.
You know, it's not that easy, Elise. I always know overcompensation won't fix it, Lebkuchen.
For goodness sake.
You frightened me, for goodness sake. I'm sorry. No more of that. Now you need to get some rest. Alright.
You know,
Also about these feelings of yours. There's nothing to fear, Leb. Not when it comes to me, alright?
Elise.
I'll come about tomorrow morning to spend time with you, alright? Alright, I'll be waiting. Alright, so that's that. At this time, we can end up bribing Muffy whenever we find her around town. And as for what else to do in the afternoon, we're just going to go on another date, this time with Freya. But before we do that, there's a couple, well, I should say a couple, there's just a free item we can get for doing this small task. It's best I don't wander around too much. Yeah, I don't think there's anything I can do until after I clear this out. So let's clear this out, move the story along, and then afterwards we can do our tasks. Now that we're all gathered here, folks. Oh, we're losing our minds, Father. This week hasn't been easy for Kieferberg, as we all know. That said, we have decided to ask Primaldorf for support. Primaldorf, you say? We cannot compromise the festival at all, as you understand. Are you certain? We've considered every option, Father. Kieferberg isn't what it once was, Ludwig. We need their help. We will be patrolling the outskirts in the evenings as well. That should make sleep easier, that's for sure. The protection of Kieferberg and our neighbors is in order, folks. What happened to poor Apfel was bad enough. Oh, Father, but who is to carry out our nightly prayers? Naturally, the church's doors will be open to all regardless. What about the windmill and the fountain? There's still water in the well, Wilma. No need to fret. Oh, but who knows how long that will last.
Oh, shush it!
It's not as though that fountain's sustaining the well, is it? What would you know, Lassie? I'm at a loss regarding the fountain, if I'm honest. Wasn't there some sort of blockage, Mr. Ludwig? We're going to have to disassemble it. Why doesn't she try it, Finn? With those toothpick fingers of hers. I'd say she'd get the job done rather easily. This isn't the time to provoke the last of them. She's so keen to stick her nose in everything lovely. Might as well teach her a little lesson, wouldn't you say? Let's not get carried away, Wilma. We're not here to... Why, that's a terrific idea. Elise, that's dangerous. She'll get hurt. Oh, dear Lord. She's getting in there. I'll show you all. A snake. A black snake was in the fountain. Oh, Kieferberg is done for. The witch. It's the witch. The devil himself.
That's enough!
Silence. We can't lose our heads. We must remain calm. You folks can't. Calm? How are we to remain calm, Father? Everyone's dismissed. Back to work. Gustav and I will have a word about this. Yeah, that was kind of weird. But as I mentioned, we have a little side job we can do, and that's just talking with this lady right here. Ah, Elise. I was looking for you, dearie. Looking for me, Mrs. Matilde? You see, I was hoping you could have a word with Ariane. I've been struggling a bit lately, you see. Struggling with what, Mrs. Matilde? Oh, it's rather embarrassing. But I can no longer do many of my house chores. This terrible tremor won't let me wash my dishes or my laundry. Mrs. Matilde. Won't you tell her to stop by tonight, Elise? I would tell her myself, but this would be 4 times this week, you see. Of course, Miss Matilde. I'll let her know. And Mrs. Matilde's person to find should be on the right. Oh. Saw the Muffy symbol. Where are you? Oh, there she is.
Muffy!
It's you. I have an offer for you, Elise.
For goodness sake!
Out of my sight, Martha. I've had enough trouble for one day. Oh, but I think you'd like to hear this.
Is that so?
Out with it, then. I don't have all day. But it wouldn't be for free.
You know...
How about you give me some hearty soup? Why, I don't think so, Muffs.
Oh, but...
We had an agreement, Elise. You're lucky I don't want any trouble, Mindy. Out with it now. What did you have to tell me? Oh, you're so generous.
Out with it!
Out with it, Mary. Right now before I...
Oh, but...
You don't have to threaten me, Elise. Why you threaten me every day, you little? I heard my auntie talking about a search. Search? Folks are losing their mind. over that serpent you pulled out of the fountain. They want to search everyone in town.
For goodness sake!
Put it in a good word for you, Elise. But you ought to promise you'll bring me some apple strudel tomorrow. Oh, to hell with you, Molly. Out of my sight. Melly's interference can weigh quite heavy. I'd best be prepared for tomorrow. Alright, now that we've taken care of that, we can go finish this other task. Okay, and our person that we're looking for is right here. If I don't get in speech bubble, there it goes. Ah, Mrs. Ariane. I was meaning to ask you. Is it Mrs. McTilde? She says she needs you to help her out again tonight. Yes. The poor thing. Old age truly doesn't forgive, does it? When did this start, Mrs. Ariane? Oh, just last week, Elise. I caught her trying to wash her sheets by the well, you see. She could have asked me. Mrs. McTilda is rather stubborn. You know that. Tell her I'll be there right after supper. Alright, Mrs. Ariane. And let's go ahead and return back for our reward. And a dog. Did you find her, Elise? Mrs. Ariane says she'll come by right after supper, Miss Matilde. Thank you, Elise. Here's something for you. And we get a silk purse. You don't have to, Miss Matilde. Oh, but it's the least I can do, my dear. There will come a day when I truly won't be able to do anything, after all. Mrs. McTilda. And with that done, only thing to do is to go on our date. I'm gonna figure out where that's at. And here we are. There she is.
Elise!
Ah, Elise, there you are.
Freya.
You have to be excited each time, Freya. I can't help it. Come in now. There's something I'd like to show you. I've only ever been here once before, I think. Oh, I know, it's rather childish. Huh? What is? All these curtains and whatnot. It's like a child's room, I know. You made those yourselves, didn't you, Freya?
Of course.
I don't see what's wrong with them. Mrs. Marilay always says I'd best focus on garments is all. I'd say she's right, anyhow. I do too much embroidering, don't I?
For goodness sake.
You make all your dresses, Freya? Ah. And it's time I make them a little less colorful, isn't it? Mr. Gustav's overalls, too? I remember he made a great deal out of those. We both know she's right, Elise. seem to think so. That's for certain. She's a proper seamstress, Elise. She knows what she's
For
talking.
goodness sake.
So are you, Freya.
Elise.
Elise.
Mm,
Why do you think I have a bunch of grapes on my apron? Aren't grapes your
for
favorite?
goodness sake.
For goodness sakes, Freya. It's because of you. I begged Granny Holly to embroider them for me. Just so you weren't the only lass in town with a dainty apron.
Shush it, you.
Oh, laugh all you want, you.
Oh, right.
Let me show you what I've been working on then. What do you think, Elise?
Freya.
I thought I'd finally put this silky ribbon to good use. Oh, it's rather dainty. You like it then? I do like it. You even added some big frills on the straps. Oh, I'm so happy you like it, Elise.
You know,
That said, isn't it rather small for you, Freya? I thought you liked them longer, wider, around the waist.
Oh, Elise.
This is for you, Sally. Summer's on its way, isn't it? You need something more cheery. So your options are for goodness sakes or thank you, Freya, but, and we're going with for goodness sakes.
Mm,
There you go. Making things for me again, Freya. I can stop if you'd like, Elise. But this is simply how I don't have anything to give back to you, is all. Oh, but you do. Huh? Won't you dance with me on Saturday, Elise?
oh, Elise.
Oh, goodness. There you are. Bright red again.
Shush it, you.
You're shameless, Freya. Shameless.
For goodness sake.
You do it on purpose. All these gifts and things you say. Of course, it's on purpose, silly. Let me do these things for you. This is how I express my...
Anyway.
I know.
Shush it, you.
Oh, shush. For goodness sake. You're so bad at this, Elise. I'll dance with you all you want on Saturday. Alright, Elise. I'll be looking forward to it.
For goodness sake.
Good grief.
Oh, Elise.
Move along now, before you melt into a puddle.
Freya.
Alright. And now we are at Dusk. And a couple of notes to make is that if you don't have a decent supply of sanity items, I do recommend that you do pick some up. Assuming you have the money for it. So, I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then continue on with the story. Okay, so I picked up the items I needed. There's nothing else for us to do at Dusk in terms of going on a date, so the only thing that there is left for us to do is to do some chores, and if you didn't have enough money to pick up any supplies, do the best you can in your chores. I'm gonna come down over here and try to complete the final chore. I think I messed up on it. And there we go, got an S rank on all the tasks, and I got the achievement for it. Oh, you didn't have to go through all this trouble, Elise. Well, I suppose your encouragement made it easier. Here you go, dearie, for your trouble. You and Freya always do such a good job. Of course, we're all grateful. Not all, but I'll take it. So, now we are at evening. Our mission and task is actually right here, but prior to that, I want to make sure to collect a few more items, and then I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back, and I've collected myself some sanity items, and if you've been following along, we do have the fish key, and you want to use the fish key on this fish over here. And that'll take us to our next area.
I've done it!
If it. When the Lord's name is going on in Kieferberg. And in one of these caves. Starting to feel queasy again.
Keep it together, Elise.
I have to pull myself together and get this over with. So to solve this puzzle, go interact with this. It'll tell you the order in which you have to press these candles down here. And then you're missing one item and you have to put your brooch on that one without a candle on it.
Now that you mention it,
They're all lit now, but there's still something missing, I think.
What is
My
this?
brooch. It worked. Speaking of which, that ribbon the other day was rather similar to mine too. First my ribbon, now my brooch. I don't like this. Not one bit. Alright, quickly collect this guy, which is an old key tunnel, or old tunnel key. Another key. I wonder what this one's for. Break these, collect the matches real fast. And then come down here for a diary entry. Diary entry number 4. Was this ripped out of some journal? Most of this was jotted down in a hurry, but Valperga, the witch. I've uncovered her roots at last. Everything points back to Kieferberg, the birthplace of the witch, Valperga, and her cult. This can't be. If there truly is a witch in Kieferberg, then adored and celebrated for centuries, the woodland surrounding this town was said to have a consciousness of its own. This consciousness, what we now call a witch, was named Valperga. Folks' faith in its miracles dates back many years before the glory of the church reached these peaks. Said to grant its believers good health, sustenance, and protection. The woodland, or Valperga, are where folks' wills, wishes, desires, and sins. In such a way, in fact, they would appear to folks under the guise of a woman. Whisper to the faithful, take the form of their loved ones, of an old hag, or a doe, amongst others. The 6-ring maple, the symbol of Valperga's benevolence, we adore today, was first adored as a symbol of the witch's miracle and mercy. That is no more, however. Saint Valperga is a patroness of the church, a benevolent figure in our faith. With the arrival of the Lord's message to these peaks, the cult of Valperga was eradicated. It is, in fact, however, that the few who lived have become nomads of sorts. What is most puzzling me is that my research and all of this history, it doesn't align with Old Holly's confession. Valperga the witch never once said to ask anything in return for its blessings. Neither was it referred to as a god or male deity, rather a woman. How could he have granted Old Holly a wish? This witch? How could a pagan deity do what the Lord himself won't? I am fairly certain there's more to Old Holly's sin than meets the eye. Granny Holly's sin, he says. None of this is true. Father Hans is losing his wits. Granny Holly would never. She would never hide anything from me. I come this way. The path ends here, but it looks like it caved in. I wonder if this used to connect somewhere. Yes, I'm going to get there. Before you leave, make sure you pick up your brooch. And then leave. No need to dawdle around. This key. I'm going to try every lock in Kieferberg and still not find out what it's for. Maybe it's best I give this some thought. But we are going to handle that. We do have a few things to do before we reach there. So let's go pick up another golden maiden. And that one's going to be at the church. there she is. Have you come here to pray? No. It doesn't make a difference to you at all at this point, does it? You see, we golden maidens are conflicted beings, huh? He saved us, in a way. Well, with his blessing and the sacrifices we made, it's enough to forfeit our right to divine salvation, isn't it? What are you trying to say? That I'd rather share eternity with him and his entourage than face my rightful punishment in the pits of hell. That's dark. Alright, on to our next area. Elise, do you have a moment? For goodness sakes, what now? You see, Elise, we've been wondering. It's best we don't, Ariane. What's the matter? Your cousin was telling us about how she got to Kieferberg, you see. Is it true she came all this way on foot, Elise? On foot, Mrs. Adelais, or yes it is? We'll go with yes it is. We couldn't afford to come about any other way, Mrs. Adelais. That's highly unlikely, Elise. She wasn't very lucky, I suppose. That's all there is to it. There's another thing I'd like to ask you. She told me to light a candle to keep the witch away, Elise. For goodness sakes, or she wants to help us all. I'm gonna go. She wants to help out. That's nothing but old wives' tale, Miss Adelais. I'll have a word with her, but she meant no harm, I'm certain. I'll be on my way home now, ladies. Good night. And avoid another suspicion. Let me pick up my free breads. What in the Lord's name are you doing out here, Lebkuchen? Waiting for your earful, it seems. I would have met you inside, for goodness sakes. I'm fine, Elise. I'm making too much of it. Your bread. You're out of your mind, Leb. Speaking of which, Elise, folks have been rather tense lately. I've noticed. I know you can look after yourself, but one good deed won't shield you from all of it, Elise. What do you mean? Folks have been talking ill about each other all day. Even Miss Marilay hasn't been spared, you see. There's no need to fret, Leb. I'll make certain I hold my tongue. Make certain you stay home as well. As you notice that I've been wandering about at night. Elise. Of course, Leb. And you stop fretting. We don't want you fainting again. I will, in due time. Alright, let's head home. Detour. Let's see that coming. And we need to go in here. Again, I do hope you have some good amount of sandy items. And we're gonna go open up the door with that key we got. Diary entry number 3. A letter. Torn, but I can't be convinced it was Valperga, the witch, Grand Old Holly's, her sinful wish. No part of my research has corroborated her confession. None of it mentions him. I am certain he, whoever he could be, is the key to Old Holly's last words. Unfortunately, I must confess to my own sinful ways through this letter. And my only chance at salvation after what I am about to bring upon all of Kieferberg. There's no other way but to call upon Valperga, the witch, myself. Once I meet this witch, I will be able to determine one of two things. If she truly is our patroness, Saint Valperga, in her reformed glory as dictated by the Lord, I can fully dictate the rest of my life as a clergyman to her adoration and celebration of her miracles. If, however, she's not only a witch, but a demonic entity masquerading as one, I have no choice but to bring the Lord's justice upon hers and Elise's wretched soul, and in her reign once and for all. No, this can't be. This can't be true. I have to find out more. I have to break into his study. And we found the catacomb keys. Yet another key. There's a tag on it, though it's rather faded. Study. I think that's what it says. This is all I have now. I possess. I suppose.
Now that you mention it.
Father Hans' study. I'll have to find a way to sneak in. Alright, let's get out of here. And that's all there is to that. So with that, we can just return home and end the evening and go into the next part. Alright, here we are. And let's go ahead and advance the story.
Elise.
Welcome home.
For goodness sake.
What's Flock doing inside Rosmarine?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I was about to take him out to the granary. Is everything alright, Elise? I'm tired is all. I'm not sure I should mention that Serpent. Talking to Rosmarine sometimes does more harm than good.
I'm sorry,
You're thinking of something, aren't you?
You know,
I'll be heading out after supper, Rosmarine. I was invited. Where to? By whom? By a serpent. Just the same as that crow. It invited me to its grove.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, that's wonderful, Elise. I suppose.
Oh, that's...
I'll be staying home this evening. That's alright. Things didn't quite go so well last time, did they?
Frozen marine. It's fate, Elise.
It was wrong of me to interfere. This is something you're to do for you, and you alone. You're right.
For goodness sake.
What is it, Flock? Can't you settle down?
I'm sorry.
I'll take him outside, Elise. You've been a little restless. And then we can have supper. A little too restless for my liking. I can hardly think with that goat hopping about. Yeah, I don't think there's anything for us here. I think we just have to go to the woods. And here we are. This. Pick up some matches. And if you'd like, feel free to save. Can you feel it, lass? My neck? It aches, doesn't it? That kiss of mine. You wretch. What did you do to me? You did well in finding me in these depths. What is this? Something's writhing. Come to me, lass. Sink deeper. I will give you nothing less than what you seek. That serpent's dangerous. I don't like it one bit. Got a porcelain knife. Best thing twice before using this. What we are going to use it, we're going to come up here and cut these vines. And right here is another golden maiden. Oh, how foolish I was. I think he would have granted me all my heart's desire. He didn't. I faltered in my resolve and my determination. If only I had taken that last step. Why didn't you? You will know in time. I suppose I will. and 3 berries. And let me recover from this animal. Porcelain knife. This gate's so heavy looking. Not strong enough to push it open. What in the... It moved. Safe, whatever that thing is, doesn't seem to follow me onto solid ground. Yeah, that thing's gonna be around. When the Lord's name was that noise? Well, that was it, opening up our next pathway. Lost in thought, as you were, the statue's gaze was itself. Solemn contemplation. I knew you'd show up sooner or later, lads.
Out with it!
Why don't we get this over with, Serpent? Where's the testament you promised me? I don't see the need to rush. I'm already bearing the sting of your bite, Serpent. What else is it you want from me? You received his gift, shared your flesh with that oaf of a crow. It is now my turn to partake, lassie. It stings, doesn't it? What did you do to me, you wretch? Come find me on the farther side of these gates. Show me your resolve. Traverse these depths. Only then shall I give you what you want.
Wait!
Won't you at least tell me your name, Serpent? It's Aziel, lass. is such an odd lock. How am I supposed to open it, I wonder? Must be meant for some sort of key, but... For heaven's sakes. I'll go mad if I stay here any longer. So now that we've awakened, you can see that there's a golden maid there to your left. You two will be bathed in gold, lass. All who meet him share the same fate. Did he not grant your wish? We golden maidens belong to him, lass. Regardless of whether it is your wish he's granted or if you were gifted to him. What? To think I was once in your shoes. Gifted to him. Yeah. Crazy thought. But right up here is the save point. And if you don't want to lose any progress, get stuck, again, recommend using it.
Lebkuchen.
Lebkuchen. That couldn't be her. Come, lass. Your goodness is much needed. My goodness, you say. I know we seek in these depths. That serpents, the key to its burrows, yes. In this woodland, guarded by the mass beasts, is its second half. What about the first half? Make your way deeper into the lagoon. And I'll surrender to you. What lagoon? Wait. For goodness sake. So now we have to make our way forward. I want to say take a little cautious when take a little caution when breaking these pots. Some of them may contain some of these little mass people, like the one down there. And if you don't activate them, it's one less worry. But if you do accidentally activate one, what can you do, right? Okay, there's the key. This ought to be it. I best find the other one. Yes, indeed. And for that, I want to say we have to go to the left. But there is a pot I need to find that has a knife. No, not that one. That's the one. You again. Come, lass. You ought to keep your word. I have my doubts as to whether you'll keep yours. Follow the moonlight, and you shall receive its graces. Yeah, I want to say the next part is this kind of tricky puzzle. So let me see if I remember to do that. I think I did. Take cautious, there are those masked women walking around. Right now I'm trying to make my way towards a couple of golden maidens. Berries. Thought I heard one. Oh no, just found one. That'll come into some importance later. And I think I sent myself in the wrong direction. Oh yeah. Backing up. Into where I'm trying to get to. And here's another golden maiden. I was told you have a brave heart. Told by whom? Your grand desire for fortune and comfort runs even deeper than mine. I too long for glory, for a chance at happiness, just like you. This ill-fated prayer of yours. It's a chimera of a dream. Nothing but a golden guess. So, is this a warning of some kind? Oh, you arrogant, foolish lassie. Not quite my fault hers didn't work out, is it? And so they gotta recover again. Okay, all better. Now on to the next golden maiden. Means I have to return back to the path and hopefully not get whacked on the way. Oh, and the way I found that was that crescent moon I had, and hey, there's one right there. And now we're looking for this one here, and this one indicates that we're in the right area. And there she is. Cruel, aren't you? Huh? Is your wish truly worth what you're sacrificing? I don't think that's any of your business. You've been branded already, haven't you? What's with all these questions? I'm just trying to tell you. I know I made plenty, and so did the rest of us. Well, I have no intention of ending up like the lot of you. We'll meet again then, sooner rather than later. For goodness sake. And that's all we have with these. Now I have to go solve this puzzle, and again, hope I don't get whacked on the way. Which means I'm trying to head towards the center. Crab cakes. Oh, that's a good find. And here we are. You come to our rescue. Rescue. My other half has been shattered in three, left to rot in these depths. I beg of you, find the great statue, cover where they've kept my other half. You're giving me the other half of this key, surely. I'm not about to wander this lagoon with no purpose. I have what you seek, yes. Find my other half, put us to rest, and I shall aid you as well. You'd best keep your word. So your clue is here. And it lets you know the moon phases. As you saw, we'd gone over to the left before. We were looking for that eye, or the number 1, whatever you want to consider it. And that crescent moon, you know, with the opening on the left. And that's where our golden mains were. But this is going to come in handy, especially when it is that you're looking for them. I want to say that those giant 3 that make the triangle are where the statues are at. So that half moon with the left side being black and the right side being white, that's one of the statues. And same with the crescent moon with its opening to the right. And then that other waning moon on its right. So let's go figure this out. We did find one of the giant statues, except of course there was nothing we can do about it. Then we didn't know this information. These moon phases, I wonder what they're for. They seem to be connected somehow. So we're going south. That was the statue phase, but we don't need to deal with that. So here's one of them. As I said, there's a symbol on it, so let's go ahead and talk to it. Take heed. One's path is nothing but the reflection of one's ungodliness. Only in the embrace of the new moon may one purify their sins. And so you can go ahead and follow this in the diagonal direction, but you also did see that there was a masked person there, so try to avoid that. Let's get a little bit cautious. close. There it is. Take heed. Pour all of that passion into his 6 vessels less. Pursue his blessing at the peak of luminance in you. 2 shall drown in his allure. Take the free item. Take heed. Drowning in eternal rushing waters. Such is our fate. In limbo we remain, doomed to gaze upon the moon's eternal crescent. So I've done that part, but we haven't found the bodies, which I want to say is just some fountains that we're looking for now. It's one of the 6 vessels, huh? I suppose I'd best solve the other statue's riddles. Oh yeah, there was more to these things. Well, looks like I'm gonna get lost. What was yours? I am not certain where the new moon is, so I'm gonna believe it's the top guy, if not number 1. Oh, I guess I didn't realize it was a save point here. Go ahead and use that, because you don't want to die and have to redo all this. Alright, let's go get lost together. I don't really remember where I saw the fountain, but I do remember it being around this direction. Random. not see that coming. See, we already activated that one. Here we go. Man, I am going to like activate that thing by accident. So we got the vase, we got the Russian water, see reflection of the moon, so there's only one left. There it is. Okay. That vision. It's the spirit's second half. I'll have to find it, I suppose. That is exactly what we're gonna go do. You have to escort it back. Take caution. I want to say if you separate from it for too long, it resets back to its home location, which is here. I beg of you, lass. I wish to be reunited with my innocence. Keep me company. Don't leave me by lonesome. Alright, come along. I'll take you there. Oh. Here we are. We owe you our everlasting gratitude. May you receive his blessing. And there's our key. Straighten out from your destined path. I suppose this key I'm missing. Straighten off from my destined path, huh?
What is this?
A corridor? We're awaiting you beyond the Crimson Bridge. No choice but to go through it, I suppose. Yes. But since we did all that work, make sure you save it. Now let's go. Creepy. Rosmarine.
Wait!
Rosmarine, wait.
What is this?
I'm back here. Losing my wits with this maze. Yep, but now that we have the 2 keys, we can go ahead and open this up. Can't move. I'm paralyzed. He speaks not but the truth. Fortune runs in your blood lies. It's you again, you wretched serpent. I can feel its warmth. How deeply you ache for the swish of yours lass. Can you feel it? This venom of mine reaching down to your fingertips? I'm burning. What are you doing to me, you wretch? This fear residing in you is merely a pebble in your path. Is your coordination conceiving, one tribute at a time, and thus
Lebkuchen.
you have to keep faith in his word.
Freya.
As it is he who is to honor your name, and you who is to reunite with him at the peak of the full moon. Reunite? I've never met him.
Elise.
Embrace it, Elise. Your most vile lust from sovereignty, your thirst for promiscuity, blasphemy. Lebkuchen, what are you saying?
Elise.
Pursue it, Elise. I hate to drink from your venom and bask in your glory. My glory? Your most vile thirst for extravagance. Your devotion to opulence. I hate to dine on your flesh and bathe in your radiance. Let me go, you.
Elise.
Embosom it, Elise. Your fearless lust for all that shines gold.
Frozen Marine.
Allow me, Elise, to endow you with all that is my being and my purpose. I hate to adore your name, your beauty. I yearn for the taste of your venom.
Wait. Elise.
Savor, Elise. Revel in it, Elise. Indulge, Elise. By this deliverance of chastity, and by your heredity, as I bear witness, So be it. Needle Testament. My whole body is aching. Rosmarine, Lebkuchen, and Freya. They were all. It's this dream again, but
What is this?
When did I fall asleep? Are you deaf? You have to hurry now, or you'll miss it. Miss what? Hurry now, hurry now. Free Tog or Friday. The Testament. Oh. It's in my pocket. To think last night really happened. You best go find Rosmarine.
Good morning, Elise.
Good thing you're here, Elise. I brought Block in because of the rain, you see. He's well behaved anyhow, aren't you, Flock?
I see.
It's raining?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, noticed? Alright, well, it doesn't matter.
I'm sorry,
You went out last night.
Now that you mention
did.
it.
I got the Second Testament, I suppose.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Oh, Elise, that's wonderful. You can prepare the gift now. I'm starting to fret because you've been avoiding talking about it. There isn't much to talk about, Rosmarine. Ever since we went there together, you've become a little... You said it yourself, didn't you? That I'd do it myself, for my own sake, and...
Elise.
Well, I didn't mean, you know.
Oh,
You're right, Elise.
that's...
It truly does only concern you. Going to the woodland with you on Tuesday wasn't... You agree, don't you, Flock?
For goodness sake.
He's a goat, Rosmarine. Anyhow, at best we move along before it gets late. And with that, we've finished Thursday and gone into Friday, so I'm going to go ahead, save, and stop right here. So we've completed another day, and in the town of Kieferberg, we saw that there was something wrong with the water, and this is being caused by the second of his guardians, Aziel, and he invited us into his grove. With that, we ventured into his grove and ended up getting the Needle Testament. The Needle Testament is what we need in order to make the final of his gifts that we can make. The last part we're going to need is the good company, but there hasn't been much talk on what that is. It's hinted upon what the good company is, but that's for Elise to go through and see if she can bring good company in order to get her wish. So when we pick up next time, we will work on creating the final gift and then work our way towards creating the good company. So until then, everybody, thanks for watching.